Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be looking into the question, who are you going to marry? How will you meet this person? And what are some qualities and characteristics that can help you identify who they are? There are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Zebra Jasper. Group 2 is the Amazonite. And group 3 is the Fire Agate. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Zebra Jasper. So let's start by taking a look at some qualities and characteristics of your future spouse, the person that you are going to marry. What is this person like? How can you identify them when they come along? Or maybe this is somebody that's already in your life. Okay, the first one we have is the Nine of Cups. So this feels like the energy of somebody that is very kind, very warm. They have a very welcoming personality. People are drawn to them and they help other people feel very at ease in their presence. This could be somebody with a smile that lights up the room, or like their laughter is just very contagious. Something about the level of this person's joy is almost like a recognizable or very obvious quality about them. They may be somebody with like a good sense of humor, so laughter being really good medicine, somebody that's able to kind of dispel a lot of tense or pressured situations with jokes or with humor. So it feels like that might be something that you notice straight away about this person, is that they make you laugh, they make you feel very at ease around them. Somebody that it feels like will bring out the best in you, or has a really good ability to kind of bring out the best in other people. Somebody that definitely shifts the energies of rooms that they enter into. They lighten the mood. They're able to lighten the vibration if it's kind of heavy or somber. We also have the Ace of Pentacles. So this feels to be somebody that's very hardworking, maybe very independent in terms of whatever they do professionally speaking. So this can be somebody that's been along like one career path for a very long period of time. They've kind of worked their way up the chain of command. Somebody that may be in like management, upper management position. Others look up to this person in like a position of authority. Feels like somebody that also has a lot of just innate wisdom or really good advice that they give to people. So they may work in something that's like a helping position, or they help others to kind of advance as far as their career is concerned. They may train other people, or this is kind of also outside of like career and work related energies. This would be the kind of person that other people come to for advice. They're a very good problem solver. This is the type of person that it feels like they are emotional, but they think from a very logical or practical kind of place. So that may have something to do with something that they do professionally speaking, kind of helping people, work through difficulties, or something having to do with like finance, managing money, banking, things of that nature, stocks and investments, something that this person is able to really anticipate 10 miles down the road, or like long-term thinking in terms of practical steps that someone can take in the here and now in order to reach longer term goals, that again might translate to something that is relevant to them professionally speaking, or they've really sort of started along a career path and they've stuck with that and have seen that kind of determination pay off, where they've ascended the ladder, they've risen in terms of their duties and responsibilities, and the title that they carry professionally speaking, because it might be something where it's a very highly specialized career, or something that when you meet this person, they may have always wanted to do something very particular with their life since they were a kid, and just really focused all their efforts on, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be the best at this. And so, when you meet this person, or if it's somebody already in your life, this isn't somebody that's like changed jobs a lot, or sort of wandered through life not knowing their direction, not knowing their purpose. It's maybe somebody that's, again, like very driven, very goal oriented, has like a specific sort of long-term trajectory for themselves financially or professionally in mind, and that aligns in some sort of way with something that they've been doing as far as work or career is concerned. We also have the Knight of Swords. So it feels like this is somebody that is quick to defend the underdog, or people that are kind of in their hour of need. This person is a strong advocate for other people. So again, that might be something that they do professionally speaking, advocacy work in some sort of way. Or this is the type of person that tries to always speak well of others and is very quick to kind of jump in and defend people that are being treated unfairly or are being criticized. It feels that this person may also be very intelligent. They choose their words very carefully. So rather than kind of just filling the space with sort of verbal noise, this is almost somebody that may be very observant, but the words that they speak are very poignant. This may be a very direct person. What they say holds a lot of credibility or authority. There's a very commanding presence about this person that, again, might relate to something that they do professionally speaking, where they've reached a place of authority within their niche, within their profession. What they say goes, is maybe somebody who sets rules, or sets kind of the tone of different projects, of the work environment, of the people around them. But it feels that this also extends out into their personal life. This is not somebody who's bossy. This is somebody who just knows how to get things done, a very efficient person, a very detail oriented person, somebody that it feels like when you have discussions with them, or when people have discussions with them, people always walk away from that with like a new perspective, a new series of facts that they weren't aware of before. So this person could be very well read. They may be very well informed about like political events, current events. They may even be somebody that knows kind of a lot of trivia type information, kind of seemingly just odd facts about different things that they'll tell people about, or they bring that forth as far as like evidence in terms of things that they speak about. So this is not just somebody that is out there with kind of random opinions about everything. It's almost like whatever they say, there's something of a practical or factual nature in order to back that up. It's a very reasonable person, a very rational person. And we also have beavers. So this could be somebody that is, again, like really good with money, good at managing their finances. When they come into your life, when you meet them, this person could be a homeowner. They could be well underway to kind of building that nest egg that they have wanted, that they've dreamed of. This may be somebody that already has taken substantial steps towards like plans further down the road, something, as far as like retirement is concerned, or something about like a later phase of their life that they already, even if they're young, relatively speaking, it feels like they're already building towards that. They're already putting money aside from that. They already kind of have a plan in place of, this is where I want to be 10 years down the road. This is where I want to be 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road. It feels like somebody that carries their own weight. They may not have a lot of debt, a lot of, people that are kind of like dependent on them, or that they are dependent on in terms of like resources or, things of that nature. It feels like they're very good at managing their money. And so in that sense, they'll make a really good partner to kind of contribute equitably to your relationship, and also make you really feel that no matter what's happening on like a day-to-day basis, this person has like enough in savings or enough kind of practical knowledge to sort of see their way through any sort of storms that come up, any kind of downtimes, professionally or financially speaking. It feels like this person has a lot that's kind of squirreled away for just in case, maybe multiple rainy day funds that they have. So maybe somebody also that has several sources of passive income. So it feels like strategic in terms of the way that they make the energy of money work for them. It's not just where they're clocking in and sort of investing their time to earn a paycheck. It feels like this is somebody that also has at least some type of investment, like an investment property, or again, like home ownership or working towards home ownership, or different kind of investment accounts that they have that sort of bring in those funds and those finances from both active streams of income that they're building and also passive streams of income. And we also have butterflies. So this person may be self-made almost. They may have come from very humble beginnings and, had to like work multiple jobs to put themselves through school, or whatever it is that they have achieved or are, still actively working to achieve in their life. It may be something very different from other people in their family. So this could be like the first person in their family that went to college or graduated college. What they're doing as far as like a particular career path could be very different from the path that like other people in their life, family or previous generations had chosen or had the option to choose. And so it feels like that'll be something very significant about this person's backstory. They also might have had like a challenging period earlier in their life, and were like scared straight or had some kind of epiphany, chose to turn their life around in more of a productive way. That again will be sort of a noteworthy or a significant aspect of them. Like the version of this person that you meet is very different from who they were before. And that in some sort of way, it feels like makes them almost very grateful for what they have and what they've been able to build, but it also, there's like a degree of pressure to continue to and like a healthy pressure to continue to live up to kind of this redefinition, this redefined image, a rebranding of themselves that has taken place. They may help other people as well, even professionally or personally, kind of like people that come to them for advice or things of that nature, to turn sort of negative situations into positive situations. This is somebody that looks at not seeing like obstacles, but they see opportunities to think outside of the box, opportunities to kind of leverage whatever's going on, whether it's a challenging period or even things that are challenging in more of like a global sense or a local sense or like a financial sense. This person's always sort of thinking 10 steps ahead of like, how can I create advantage for myself and the people that matter to me out of the present circumstances. So it feels like this again is somebody that will be a very good partner. You and this person, you and your future spouse may end up kind of going into business together, or taking sort of a next step in terms of your personal dreams and goals, and really being able to advance that to the next level. It feels that this person also has a lot of technical skills, like they're really good with technology, or again just kind of a visionary sort of energy where they're able to not just sort of see the present reality around them, but they're able to they have like a future minded perspective that it feels like allows them to seize the moment or even create moments of opportunity for themselves when they arise. So, this again can be something where the two of you as a couple kind of bring something forth that either helps to change lives of other people, or in some way kind of advances or pivots you both forward closer to those goals and dreams that you may have had individually, or even sort of shared goals and dreams that you develop once your relationship starts together. And we also have raccoon. So this person may be very kind of a no nonsense person. Like they're opinionated, but then they again have like a lot of facts or evidence that can kind of support why it is that they think certain ways, why it is that they do things certain ways. So kind of a shadow aspect of this person. They may be a bit stubborn or rigid. So that may be something where there's almost at times like personality clash between this person and other people. There may be something about like a level of confidence within them that is often intimidating to other people. They may have had like a lot of, you may hear about like professional rivalries and like people that they've had to kind of butt heads with in order to sort of get their point across, or some sort of struggle to kind of like reach the place that they are at in like their profession or in their life, or maybe even something as far as like a stubborn personality that they needed to kind of temper in order to be able to sort of navigate through to opportunities that they have wanted, professionally or personally speaking. And so it feels like something that it's almost to coax this person into a different sort of way of thinking or doing it, it requires evidence. That this is kind of the person that needs to see something and then they will believe it. This is not somebody that just kind of acts on intuition, acts on faith. This is somebody that takes in a lot of data, takes in a lot of evidence, kind of observes quietly from the shadows, and then they make their move forward in life in general, certainly as far as it feels like romantically speaking as well. This is somebody that's very, when they present themselves, when they say something, say that they'll do something, promises that they make, there's follow through. This is somebody that believes in keeping promises that they make. And therefore it's, kind of navigating through life in general. They're very determined on a course of action because they've given things a lot of thought. This is not somebody that's just going to, on a whim, kind of make a decision. It's something where they'll think, they'll plan, they'll do their research, and then take very calculated steps forward, which may be something that clashes oftentimes with people that could be driven by different sorts of motives, or they may have needed to kind of insert themselves in certain situations, professionally speaking, really kind of, again, sort of backing up who they are with a lot of evidence, or what it is that they've brought forth with sort of a track record of success that may be something even kind of coupled with like the level of how thorough this person could be in terms of like getting proof, getting evidence. This could be something that rubs other people the wrong way, who may just be sort of like they want to talk a big game, but there's nothing really to kind of support that. This person is the exact opposite, where they'll bring forth a lot of facts and figures, and it feels like they often sort of humble or silence other people through that kind of process of they've done their research, they've done their due diligence. This is somebody that they're very trustworthy. Whatever they say, whatever they present, it can be believed at face value because they've taken every step necessary to make sure that they've covered all their bases in that sense. So let's see how you are going to meet this person, or maybe this is somebody that's, already in your life or soon to arrive. And so these can provide some confirmations for you. Okay, so the first one we have is Spirit of the River. So it feels like your future spouse, the person you're going to marry, this person comes into your life after you've closed out some sort of difficult emotional chapter for yourself. This could be like your biggest heartbreak, or a sense of almost kind of purging a lot of like wounds or karmic cycles in love, where you may actually reach a point of like, I'm done with love, I'm focusing on other things, I'm just going to invest in me. You kind of give up the search for the one or for that perfect person, which it feels like causes the energies between the two of you to align very perfectly, and you just sort of flow into one another's lives. We also have overflow. So this feels to also be something where there may, again, be like a lot of kind of offloading of certain things in your life. So it may be a time where you're kind of culling relationships, you're pruning certain things out. You may have made a decision to kind of disconnect from certain communities or interests or goals and things that you were working towards, and sort of make a completely different shift and pivot in terms of your personal narrative arc. So this can involve, relocating somewhere, changing jobs, going back to school, something where you're seeking out a new kind of like social circle, or different kinds of ideas, belief systems, practices have changed because they've needed to, or because you're like not resonating with them anymore. It's almost a sense of kind of like if you've gone through or will be going through a major sort of purge or like dark night of the soul, coming out the other side of that and sort of saying, I need to make a change, or I'm not the same person that I once was. It feels like stepping through that portal that is self-created towards a different kind of reality is the step that kind of puts you in alignment with this person. When you've released a lot of things, when you've literally cleared space in your life, or maybe a lot of things have kind of been washed away, they've fallen out of your life. People have kind of moved away from you, or in your kind of hard times or your dark times, you lost a lot of support from people, or opportunities, things maybe financially or professionally sort of fell apart, and it necessitated a change in a different direction. Any of those energies can kind of signal that, in addition to other types of abundance, new relationships you can cultivate, or like a more fulfilling career, or just different things that you participate in that are a reflection of like who you've chosen to become or have needed to become. It feels like in part and parcel with all of that is this future spouse, this person that you're going to marry, coming into your life. We also have dragon power. So that again can speak about something where you've had to reclaim your personal power in some way, some empowered action that is taken in a new direction. So this can be like taking on a new hobby. Maybe you decide to take a class somewhere, or again, like go back to school, step outside of your comfort zone in some sort of way, change up your routine in some sort of way, geared toward bettering yourself, geared toward wellness. So this can be something maybe you decide to invest in your physical fitness and health. You can encounter this person at the gym, or maybe at like a yoga class, or you again kind of decide to just sort of change things up. You physically relocate somewhere. This person lives in the new location that you are now inhabiting. Or something where, even kind of a series of just sort of small steps in other ways in your life to kind of bring in fresh energy. This brings you into alignment with this individual. It feels most likely, based on these kind of energies so far, that this is someone that you'll meet directly. This is not like an online person. This is not a distanced connection. This is somebody that you'd be able to have those face-to-face interactions with. They're in your environment. They're in your kind of physical landscape in some way, almost where you both may be sort of like hidden in plain sight to one another. Like you're near enough, or if you're needing to like relocate or move or change certain things, it's almost just out and about in your day-to-day reality. Again, that kind of mindset of like not looking for love, not looking for the one, not looking for that person. And that's how you encounter this individual. That's how you meet this person. Maybe through a, like serendipity, or a series of kind of coincidences or synchronicities that just sort of call you towards things. You get intuitive nudges to try certain things, do certain things, go to a place, something that's outside of what you habitually or historically or usually would kind of do or involve yourself with. That's the environment. That's the forum where you encounter this person. And we also have rainbow waterfall miracles. So definitely something that is, like a natural, organic, almost like an old-fashioned connection, sort of pre-technological era where you had to just meet somebody face to face. It's possible that even through like a new community, new friend group, new people that you meet, that you're introduced to this person. So this could be like somebody's coworker, somebody's friend, somebody's family member, or you're out and about with kind of this new crowd, this new, even version of yourself. You're just sort of hanging out with yourself, doing different things that are kind of for your betterment or are building a sense of empowered reality. And that's how you encounter this person, likely in a group setting. Or something that, again, can kind of indicate just a very organic and natural process of meeting one another. So this isn't someone you're going to find on the dating app. This isn't going to be somebody an algorithm recommends to you. This isn't going to be somebody popping up in the DMs. This is going to be somebody where, there's that eye contact. There's that you're in physical proximity to one another. You're able to, exchange contact information, and then, maybe you're having those texts or those emails or those DMs on social media that way. But it's definitely like physically face to face is that first meeting point with this person. So I want to get a couple of affirmation cards that can just be for you to kind of like put yourself in sort of the highest vibrational frequency possible. Again, to not go like searching for the one or searching for that future spouse, but just to kind of put you in the most sort of radiant and self-loving energy that you can be in, which is that magnetic frequency, which calls in abundance, where you're attracting that for yourself. So I'll get some of these and then we'll close the reading out with some initials. So these, you can like use them as mantras if you want, or something that can just kind of, again, sort of set the tone or mood for more of like an empowered sort of mindset, or putting that focus on yourself, which then kind of attracts things that resonate at sort of that self-directed and higher vibrational frequency. First one is hope. With hope, I see opportunities instead of obstacles. Acceptance. I accept and honor myself with love and compassion. Omniscience. I trust in the wisdom of the universe that resides within me, guiding me towards my highest potential. And patience. I am patient with myself and my goals, knowing that growth and progress takes time. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your future spouse, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got T, I, Q, Y, F, N, S, V, R, J, R, and L. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. Chose the Amazonite. So let's start by taking a look at who you're going to marry, your future spouse. What are some qualities and characteristics about this person that are most significant, that can help you identify them? Maybe there's somebody already in your life, or can help you to kind of know that it is this person when they come along further down the road on your timeline. Okay, we have the Page of Swords. So it feels like there could be an age difference between the two of you, something more than just a couple of years, something that would be sort of an obvious factor between the two of you. Nothing inappropriate, but just something notable. It feels like you'd be within the same, technically like generation as this person, but it would be at least like a 3 to 4 year age difference between the two of you. This may be somebody also who, I'm getting stutters, so maybe they when they get nervous, this is somebody who's prone to stuttering, or maybe they stuttered when they were younger and kind of worked on that. There may be also sort of a language barrier between the two of you, or whatever language you speak, that's not that person's first language, and so there may be something where there's times where you're having conversations with one another and they almost have to stop and say, what's the word? And they may say something in their native tongue, instead of sort of whatever that common language is that the two of you speak with one another. That can definitely be something that's kind of noteworthy about this person. It feels like there's somebody who's a very good listener. This is a very observant person. They feel to be somebody who is also a very patient person. So somebody that may be in the process as well of kind of working towards like bigger goals and dreams for themselves that are still a little bit further down the road. So this isn't a person that has reached like the pinnacle of their success, or has created that like best life or that dream life for themselves when the two of you encounter one another, but they're actively working on that. They may be somebody who has gone back to school, or has changed jobs or careers, or has been doing some soul searching and is kind of like wanting to move out of just, going through the rat race, working the 9 to 5, and they may be at this point, when you encounter them, sort of like, what's the deeper meaning and purpose of my life that has caused them to shift gears in some sort of way, to move towards something that is more meaningful as far as work is concerned, or even something that they're doing on the side, to kind of grow a brand, grow a business for themselves, or something that they just do to kind of give back to others, to help others. Outreach could be something very important to this person, close to this person's heart. There could be experiences that they've had in their past that they almost feel very driven to kind of help others in similar circumstances. So it's maybe somebody that spreads awareness about things. They could have like a social media presence that it feels like they could share things, or have like a small following almost on social media, but they may have like dreams to make it something bigger, a goal to have like a bigger presence, or to make a name for themselves in some sort of way, in whatever that kind of field of interest is, that at the time that you meet them, they might not be like making money from this, or they've just started this, or it hasn't really kind of caught on with other people, but it's something that they're like working towards, or building towards. We also have the Ace of Cups. So this feels like somebody who's a very romantic person. This is someone that's very thoughtful when it comes to romance. You may share a very similar love language to one another, where even if there's like a language barrier between the two of you, there's not going to be a love language barrier. You're very in sync with one another in that sense. This person could consider themselves to be an empath, or even a light worker. They're a very sensitive individual, and it feels like somebody that doesn't even put up a hard exterior. Like, they may be very open with their emotions. They may be able to kind of have conversations and like talk about, this is how I'm feeling. This is what has moved me in a particular way, for better or worse, that could be quite different from other people that you've been used to experiencing romance with. It feels like something that this capacity for like emotion or empathy for other people may also kind of have encouraged them to sort of step beyond just the pursuit of money. And there's a sense of almost like, I want to do something meaningful. I want to give back to help people, to make the world around me a better place than I've experienced it as, or than it was before I kind of, decided to sort of get out there and try to ease the suffering of people I encounter, or people around me. We also have the moon. So it feels like this person maybe, they may have a mysterious side to them. Certain aspects maybe that they don't talk about as far as their background or their backstory in some sort of way that doesn't really indicate there's anything that they're hiding, but they may have a very they may have had a very difficult childhood, or they went through some pretty traumatic events or experiences in an earlier sort of phase or chapter in their life that they'll tell you about these things, but it feels like they don't necessarily want to get into a lot of detail about it, or it may be a very sad story, to where when they tell this, it's not like a central part of their personality in some sort of way, but it's almost something that may kind of move you or other people that like learn about this or know about this. It moves people to a place of deep compassion for this person. Like the things that they may have seen or experienced or lived through or survived may be very different than sort of the typical range of when people say they've had troubles or they've had difficulties. It feels like what this person has been through is very extreme. It's on the extreme end of things, to where it may be very surprising, sort of like, how is this person kind? How is this person, have a positive attitude? How is this person still optimistic about the future, based on everything that they've experienced? Other people in their position may become very embittered, very jaded towards the world. This could even have to do with a particular experience as far as romance is concerned that may be a very troubled story, or, something that's almost just very tragic that could have happened in their experience in the past, that almost allows you to sort of appreciate, it feels like, even more the love that they are still willing and able and like capable of giving. This person may have really shut down emotionally for a period of time through things that they've been through, and so they've come out of some sort of phase of like a healing journey, it feels like. Or they've had to gain like some level of self-awareness that there's like two choices in life: either to be closed off to experiences and sort of move through life very numbly, or to choose to kind of move through that personal darkness, that internal darkness or experiential darkness, and sort of become that light, or open up into sort of a different version of self. And we also have Scorpion. So it feels like this person may have like a quick temper, like a hair trigger almost, when it comes to certain things that are like sensitive topics for them. It feels like this is somebody who's very loyal towards the people that they care about as well, and very quick to defend people that they care about. This is somebody that would defend your honor, would stand up for you in any circumstance and situation. It's the type of person that would defend you in rooms that you are not in, or would make sure that people are speaking well of you behind your back even. It's maybe somebody that has a very small group of friends, a very small inner circle. This may even be somebody that, again, kind of that mysterious energy, they could kind of keep to themselves a lot, even if they're sort of in social settings, or, within kind of like friend circles. They may be the quiet one within sort of the friend group, where what they're expressing when they're speaking to people, it's, it's meaningful. It's like they're giving people a lot of direct attention when they're engaging with them, when they're interacting with them. But this isn't somebody that's just going to go around and, they've got like thousands of people that they're calling their personal friend on their personal social media. This isn't going to be somebody that, knows everybody or is known by everybody. They may be somebody who's a bit obscure even in and of themselves. And that can really account for, somebody that maybe grew up in another country, or like in a different location from where it is that you live. So like wherever you meet this person or encounter this person, it feels like there's not a lot of people that know them. This can also be the type of person that like people know of them, but they don't really know them. So it's almost like a privilege to be within their inner circle, to be one of those people that they open up to about more of those kind of sensitive or difficult or dark aspects of their past, because they seem like they're friendly to other people on a surface level, but they don't let everybody in close. They may have been through some profound betrayals, or it might have even just been something about the nature of how they were raised or their personality, to kind of question other people's motives, or kind of somebody who operates off of the mindset of like trust is earned and it's not easily given. Maybe in the past they had just sort of given open access to themselves or their life to other people, and it had worked out to their disadvantage. So in a sense, they've almost like created better sort of personal boundaries for themselves, which it feels like will never leave you questioning as far as like their motives, their intentions, what are they doing? Who are they with? This is a very like loyal person. They may also be like a homebody kind of, where they could have like a social circle, they could have friends, but they could also be an introvert, just kind of keeping to themselves, spending time, with themselves and with their kind of inner circle of loved ones. This isn't going to be somebody that's like out roaming the streets, or where you'd have to keep an eye on them in any sort of way. We also have bat. So this could be somebody that works nights, or has something that they do in the evening that may kind of take a lot of their time. This could be somebody that like works multiple jobs, or is in the process of almost like building something as far as like a relevant kind of purpose driven, or something with kind of greater meaning to kind of share with others that they do after hours. They could be kind of a night owl as well. This could be somebody even that kind of deals with insomnia. They could have a lot of sort of ideas rolling around in their head, and it's hard for them to sort of settle down and sleep. This could be somebody that maybe even sleeps very little. If they're a night owl, they're also an early riser as well, maybe because of work, or just in terms of like something as far as the way in which where they're at in their life in general. It's almost like they're feeling they have a finite amount of time on this earth, and to make it matter. This is not a lazy person. They may be a very contemplative person, a very sort of intuitive person as well, a very sensitive person. They may even consider themselves to be psychic or intuitive. There may even be something as far as their backstory is concerned, where it's almost like their intuition saved them on more than one occasion, or they followed their gut instinct and it led them away from hazard or danger, or in the direction of opportunity and kind of healing in some sort of way. And we also have octopus. So this could be somebody that works multiple jobs, or, they got a lot going on in their life. They may have a lot of duties and responsibilities, or somebody that has a lot of things that they sort of feel the need to kind of address within themselves. So this is somebody that they may have a hard time like relaxing or kind of decompressing in some sort of way. It's maybe somebody that feels they've always got to be busy. It may be sort of a challenge to sort of teach them that rest is something that you don't have to earn, that it's just kind of, it's part of being productive. In some sort of way. They may have bigger goals and dreams for their life that, it's possible. It feels like this is someone who's very self-motivated, a self-starter. They may do something very different from what you do professionally, or those bigger goals and dreams may be something very different than whatever kind of your higher calling is, your purpose is, your goals and dreams are. So it may be like periods of time, or a certain sort of chapter of your experience with one another where there's times where you're not seeing each other very much, or it's just kind of they're working a lot, or they're investing a lot of their time in other sorts of things. But it feels like even in the midst of that, this is the type of person that will make sure that there's some sort of meaningful gesture every day. They're not going to let the sun set on an argument, or, make you kind of question sort of, are they invested in this situation? This is somebody that it feels like they'll continue to work and make sure that the marriage and the relationship stays vital, even if their attentions, their energy, their presence is kind of needing to be directed towards other things at various points in times. They may have a busy season with what they do to professionally speaking, where, again, there could be times where you're not seeing one another very often. You're not communicating with one another on a regular basis, but it's almost the kind of thing where there'll be a note on the bathroom mirror that they love you, or something that they've done that's kind of special, that makes you sort of know that they're thinking about you, that they love you, even though, they have other things that they kind of need to attend to. So let's take a look and see how you will meet this person, or maybe this is somebody that's already in your life. And this can provide you some confirmations for that. Okay, we have first breath. So this feels to be something that you might be the one to introduce yourself to this individual. You could possibly meet this person on a dating app, or you see them online. The algorithm recommends, something as far as even maybe like a social media presence that they have, in terms of like some kind of higher calling, something that they're passionate about, something that's meaningful to them. You could start having conversation about that, like commenting on each other's sort of things, or something where you create a dialogue with this person. You may reach out to them with like a compliment, or ask them for advice about something. This could be someone also that in some way there's like the ability to kind of like mentor you. So they may start off as like a mentor, or somebody that you consult, maybe for feedback, maybe for advice, maybe something that they have going on professionally speaking, where you'd almost have to like hire this person as a consultant, something where you'd be kind of working with them remotely, or interacting with them remotely in some sort of way that it feels like will be that sort of first meeting between the two of you. And we also have dances on one foot. So this can definitely speak to something about putting yourself out there again, maybe after a period of kind of recovering from heartbreak, or you've had your single season, you've been working on yourself, and maybe you're getting on dating apps, you're seeking love, you're actively kind of looking to meet someone new, and so in that context, it can almost again be like somebody that you find or you meet on a dating app, or just even kind of if that's the mindset. Like, I'm ready to meet someone else. I've closed the door to my past. I've healed from that. I've released people, or the idea of people from the past coming back, and just sort of looking with that kind of forward momentum of like, I'm ready for love. My heart is open for love. I'm looking for something serious, or even just kind of, I'm looking to see what's out there. I'm keeping my options open. Like a very sort of free flowing energy, but something where there's not like a prohibition as far as like, I'm done with love sucks. It's something where you're hopeful, you're optimistic. You're moving forth with the expectation that like, yeah, in divine timing you'll meet the right person. But instead of actively sort of like sitting around and waiting for that, it almost feels to come at a time where you're very proactive in kind of letting yourself be seen, letting yourself kind of go out there in different environments, with the idea that you could meet the love of your life anywhere at any point in time. We also have dragonfly spirit change. Yes, this is all about the energy of emergence. So you can meet this person coinciding with like a major sort of glow up, something very profound that you have done in terms of like your physical appearance, or even after kind of a deep period of shadow work, of spiritual work, deep healing, personal growth, and you've closed out the chapter of the past. You've released those people from the past. You've cut the cords. You've let go of those narratives. A timeline or a deadline has expired for, anybody that you are holding space before, from before, to kind of get their act together, kind of pursue you, make things right, make amends. The time has come and gone for that, and it's almost like, you've healed, you've grown, you've evolved, and so you're directing all your focus towards what's new, what can the future bring, what's out there for me. And so this may come with like a combination of, if it's a dating app, like you started kind of meeting people, talking with people, going out on dates. So this person could be close enough to you, geographically speaking, where that would be possible, or it just kind of fits into that sort of paradigm of like, nothing changes if nothing changes. I'm not going to meet the one just sitting at home or focusing on all this self-improvement. Like, I've got to do something with all of that. And so it's this energy of kind of thrusting yourself out there, into the unknown, outside of the comfort zone. Maybe even with like the dragonfly energy, a long period of time that you've been single and kind of getting yourself back in the mix once again. Meeting new people, flirting with people, not just sitting around waiting for someone else to make the first move, but if you find someone attractive, you put yourself out there. If there's someone interesting, you're the one making that first move. That may be something very different from how you were operating before, that it feels like it's a level of almost friendliness, or you're not so closed off within yourself, where you might almost be kind of the bold one in the situation, which it feels like will complement this person's energy of more of just kind of quiet or introverted. Like, it feels like in this situation, you're definitely the first one that makes that contact with this person. Maybe even something where, if there's like a professional or even just a social connection to them, they're not popping up in your DMs, you're popping up in their DMs. Maybe it's flirting with them, or even just something on more of like a mundane level, but it fits in that kind of season of your life where you're enthusiastic about meeting new people. And we also have Phoenix, transmutation. Yeah, so this is like rising from the ashes of a previous version of yourself. Something that coincides with like a deep personal transformation. This isn't just you changed your hair color, or you decided to kind of redecorate your house. This is, in terms of transformation, this is like a lot of, you are a totally different person than who you were before. Something big that you have done, or that you will do, that brings forth almost a rebranding of who you are, like unrecognizable to your past, or even just your mindset, your belief systems as far as love, your approach, your strategy to love and romance before. Maybe you've kind of been working on more of that confidence, that empowered sort of energy, where you're, again, not just like sitting around and waiting for something to happen, but you're doing more than meeting the universe halfway. It's almost like, okay, divine timing keeps ticking by. I need to do something. And so it's that step in a new direction of really just taking control of your life and shifting the direction and course of sort of where you have that heart-centered energy directed. That feels to be something that is how you meet this individual. Something where, again, you're putting yourself out there again in a very broad sense. In many different ways in your life, it feels like you're meeting them in that season of, this is the new me. Let me reintroduce the world to who I am, or who I have chosen to become. So I'm going to get some affirmation cards that can just be something like for you to focus on for yourself, to kind of build this energy of personal magnetism within, so that you're in the right frame of mind to attract a healthy and high vibrational love. So these aren't going to be cards that like focus on this other person. This is the focus on you, ways to kind of just fill your own cup, or kind of lift yourself up into that place of confidence that it feels like will be the proper frequency for you to sort of put yourself out there and interact with that right person for you. Okay, we have calmness. My breath connects me to the present moment and brings me a sense of calmness. hope. With hope, I see opportunities instead of obstacles. Purity. I breathe light and purity. And resonance. My soul sings in resonance with the light within. So I'm going to get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your future spouse, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got U, V, A, G, M, J, F, X, E, I, C, R, S, D, and Y. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. Chose the fire agate. So let's start by taking a look at who are you going to marry? What are some qualities and characteristics about this person that can help you identify them when they come into your life? Or maybe it's somebody who's already in your life, and so this can provide some confirmations for you. Okay, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So this feels to be somebody that is very confident within themselves. They're comfortable in their skin. This is somebody who knows who they are, and they're not going to let anybody tell them otherwise. This could be somebody that has a lot of specialized knowledge or some sort of skill or ability which they are highly sought after for and very well paid for. This could be somebody that's an entrepreneur, a business owner, something that they do professionally that is like a niche. They may have very little competition, or they are the best in the industry. They're the best at what they do in general, or even on some kind of local level. This could be somebody that is very well known within their industry. They could have some degree of like fame and fortune. They could be considered like a local celebrity even, or, in a more broad sense, they're like a household name, or they're working towards that in terms of just like in general, or whatever it is that they do, professionally speaking. It feels like the type of person that other people speak very highly of them, of their experiences with this individual. This is somebody that operates with a lot of integrity. They have similar values as you. So somebody has a strong moral compass. Somebody that, may really sort of seek to kind of put wrong things right in life. That may pertain to kind of like what they do professionally speaking, or somebody that may even kind of, their inner critic is almost like their best motivator. Like their only competition is themselves. They always try to be better than the version of themselves than they were yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. It feels like this is a very ambitious person as well. Big dreams, big goals, and they are well underway to achieving those, or have achieved those already, and are continuing to kind of go through the motions of, keeping that abundance at sort of peak or optimal performance for themselves. We also have the Page of Swords. So it feels like this person is a really good communicator. This is somebody that's a really good problem solver. This is the type of person that you're going to have very interesting discussions with one another. They're going to open your mind to a new way of thinking, a new way of living, a new way of kind of existing in the world. They may do something professionally, or they've kind of like created a route to success for themselves that may really for you be like, I didn't know people could do that. I didn't know you could make money off of that. I didn't know that was a job or that was a profession, or the way that this person has gone about achieving something that like that is the path to success. This may be somebody who firmly kind of adheres to the idea of work smarter, not harder. So it may be something where they've almost like created loopholes or fast track themselves through different things. Somebody that may have a very sort of shrewd eye for opportunity, a shrewd eye for business. Somebody that has followed their intuition and it's paid off very richly in terms of like a company that they could have started or a business that they could have started. This could be something that they did it at just the right time, or sort of it felt right, or they were able to kind of read the climate of sort of the world or the culture or whatever the niche or specialty is, and they got in at the right moment or at the ground level, to where it's almost like they've created a level of success that it feels like takes other people longer. This person could have reached a level of financial success or professional success at a very young age. It feels like for some people, they may almost be abundant enough that they could retire, but it's somebody who keeps working, not for the money, but because they love what they do. It fills them with a sense of excitement. They could be somebody that's very adventurous, somebody that's well-traveled, somebody that has a lot of stories about a lot of different things that they've experienced, somebody that it's almost like they could be sort of like a larger-than-life personality almost, where some of the things that they talk about or that they say as far as stories are concerned, it could be like, did that really happen? How could all these things have happened to this one person? How could somebody have fit all of these rich experiences within one lifetime at such an early age? They may have gone through many different transformations in their life in terms of like experiences that they've had that had kind of like reshaped them into a version of themselves, people that they've met or encountered that have been noteworthy or have influenced them in such a profound way, or that they've taken to heart the interactions with those people, that it's really helped to like shape them in a very positive way into a version of themselves, or several different versions of themselves, that have been able to kind of like not even climb the ladder of success, but this is almost somebody that thought to build a rocket and they're flying right to the top of that kind of pinnacle of success, rather than sort of going rung by rung like typically would happen, or other people would be inclined to do. We also have the Five of Swords. So there may be something very attractive about this person. They may be more attractive than anyone that you have ever dated or been romantic with before. They may be something that stands out about them that is kind of more attractive than sort of the average person. This is almost somebody that they could have the appearance of like a model or an actor. Maybe that is something that they do or that they did at a period of time, professionally speaking, or you know, their looks are enough that they could have done that even if they're doing something else professionally. Feels like this is also a very charming person who is able to very easily disarm other people with their charm, with their smile, with their personality, even with their looks. They may be somebody who gets a lot of attention. They have a very large following on social media, or even just out and about. There are a lot of eyes that are on this person, a very powerful energy that they bring forth, where it's almost like all heads turn when they enter a room. Something about their level of personal magnetism that just speaks to confidence and authority within. They may have very little competition as far as like what they do professionally, or they're so good at what they do, or even just, this isn't somebody that operates out of ego. It's like they truly feel good about themselves. They truly feel that they are living their best life, or are cultivating that best life for themselves, or maybe that completely is redefined at all times, which keeps them in this sort of fresh energy of like innovation and change, to where that in and of itself, it feels like, is something that makes other people gravitate towards this person with a lot of like respect. They may also have a lot of people that envy them, envy their success, everything that they've achieved at this point in their life, or, you know, these good looks, or this charm, or this personality, something about this individual that inspires people that have kind of, you know, leadership qualities within them, and also triggers unhealed aspects within other people that kind of just sit in a victim mentality. So there may even be something where this person is, you know, something that they do as far as like motivational speaking is concerned, or they just inspire other people with their life story, or something that kind of they do with themselves. They might also give back, donate a lot of time, money, resources. They're not just hoarding this wealth that they have built for themselves, but they're using that to help kind of make the lives of other people better. And we also have whale. So it feels like this person could be very misunderstood. They have like a very powerful presence, but it feels like they're a very gentle person. As far as their inner circle, their inner sanctum is concerned, there's a tenderness about this person that it feels like that's not the part of their personality that is kind of publicly presented. They may present publicly as a very like tenacious person, a very no nonsense individual, you know, somebody that again like exudes this high level of confidence, or the nature of what they do is kind of, they have to kind of keep that confidence level high, but behind closed doors, they may have this other kind of aspect of their personality that is quiet, that is contemplative, that is soft, that is reserved. So it's almost like because of what they do professionally, or the way in which they have found kind of the best route to success, is almost putting on this mask. Again, not from an egoic place. It's like this inner confidence, this inner like true self-love that they have, that they externalize in some sort of capacity, you know, professionally, or publicly speaking, or around groups of people that, you know, they don't know so well. So maybe somebody that kind of like, they have a lot of acquaintances, but few people that they will call friends. A lot of people know them, but few people kind of access sort of that inner quality of like people that truly matter to them. But with family, you know, with close friends, you know, this is somebody that's very kind of gentle, very tender, very caring. They may also be really good with animals, very kind of sweet and cuddly with their pets, or with just animals in general. Animals could be drawn to this person, or the way that they are kind of around animals, or babies or kids. It's just like a very sweet aspect of them that could be so different from how they're having to present kind of, you know, as this confident and kind of their emotions are in check sort of an individual, professionally speaking. And then you know, personally, it's something where there's definitely like a softer side, like a sweet side, like a playful side to them. And we also have hawk. So it feels like this person is very ambitious. They have big goals, they have big dreams, they may have achieved a lot of those, but it feels like whatever they have going on, professionally or personally, it's like they want more. This is somebody that is not just kind of aiming for the moon as far as those goals and ambitions, but it's like they're aiming for the other side of the galaxy as far as like how far they want to go in their life, or what they want to create, like a big dreamer sort of energy, a visionary energy, which it feels like is one of sort of the ingredients in their formula of success. This is somebody that has dreams and goals that others may be like, that's delusional, that's never going to happen, that's unrealistic, and yet somehow they achieve a version of that, or they achieve the actual goal in and of itself, which it feels like this backstory of sort of how they have come to the position they are at in their life. When you meet them, that inspires. The story itself inspires other people to kind of step beyond the limits of self, to not sort of settle for mediocrity, but to always kind of reach for more, reach for better. And we also have snake. So it feels like this is somebody that is very focused on like personal growth and transformation. Somebody that is a deep thinker, a deep soul searcher. This is somebody that it feels like they regularly kind of engage in a process of like personal inventory to say, what are my shortcomings? Where am I not kind of living up to sort of the highest version of myself? How could I be doing better with myself and with my life? This is not somebody who's afraid to kind of let things go. This is not somebody who's afraid to kind of trim the fat in their life in various ways. It's something where the moves that they make have to make sense to them. It's got to bring them peace, or it's got to be related to kind of abundance, prosperity, money in some sort of way. This is not somebody that will entertain low vibrational connections or like low vibrational sort of ideas or energies internally or externally speaking. They hold themselves accountable in a very extreme way. This may be somebody that didn't have a lot of people to rely upon. They've had to learn to be self-sufficient or self-made in some sort of way, or people in their life, friends or family growing up almost templated for this individual the example of that's what I don't want to be. So they may be somebody who is even kind of estranged from their family. They've cut family off, or they've grown beyond sort of the way in which other people kind of live their life. That could have created a lot of envy, a lot of resentment on the part of friends or family. It's maybe somebody that has just kind of closed off their past altogether and has moved forward. They may not have gotten a lot of support or encouragement from people in their past, and so they needed to be their own cheerleader, which encouraged them to kind of build some sort of healthy self-esteem. Rather than sort of taking a woe is me attitude, it's like they chose to kind of build themselves up into something more, something better. And so they hold themselves accountable in that sense. So let's take a look and see how you will meet this person, or maybe this is somebody that's already in your life, so this can provide some confirmations for you in that regard. Okay, we have dragon power. So this feels like something, I'm hearing seminar. So maybe something where this person's giving a seminar, or you're both attending a seminar. So this could be like a professional connection, or even something where if you're attending like a work retreat, a training, a seminar, or, even this could even apply to like you're taking vacation time from work. The two of you meet in sort of that mutual area. You're at the same hotel, you're at the same convention center. You're attending the same kind of gathering, or maybe this is the person giving the training or the speech, or kind of they've organized the function in some sort of way, and kind of involved with things in that capacity. And we also have thicket of thorns, uncertainty. So it feels like probably based on the way in which this person's work life is scheduled, this is going to be something where there may be almost, it's difficult to connect with them or difficult to like reach this person. You may have to go through like an assistant, or they've got people, like an entourage almost, if they have some degree of like fame or acclaim to them, where it may be very difficult to get direct one-on-one time with this person. It's almost like the type of person where you'd have to kind of like call and schedule a meeting. You'd have to know someone that would get you direct access to this person on like a face-to-face level. Something that, again, if it's like a work connection, you could sort of have that with this individual that other people might not be able to have, or something where it's almost like a meeting falls through or a flight gets delayed. You could meet this person in an airport or like a hotel lobby, in between travel, and you kind of like strike up a conversation with them, or they strike up a conversation with you in that capacity. But it feels to be something that it will likely be like a face-to-face meeting with this individual, or something where you'd be a participant, you'd be like an audience member, or you're both kind of participants or audience members in some sort of way. If it doesn't have to do with like professional seminars, this could also be like personal growth and healing, something that they're doing in their off time, again, to just kind of keep themselves very well rounded, something even of like a spiritual nature, or having to do with kind of like motivational wellness, or lifestyle, kind of health and fitness, anything in regards to that, where it's almost like group setting that you'd be able to then kind of have the opportunity to at least get to know them on a first name basis, encounter them in that capacity. You've got some one-on-one time with one another, but it feels like you'll encounter this person in a variety of ways several times before it's kind of like, okay, now we have this opportunity to deal with one another directly. Now there's that conversation. Now there's that communication taking place. Now there's that energy of we're exchanging with one another, either because they're very difficult to like get a hold of, or something as far as like you may see them and kind of they're giving a speech at some point in time, or they're putting on some kind of function at some point, and then the next time you see this person, it may be on more of like an equal playing field, or kind of a leveled sort of situation with one another. So you run into one another in like a restaurant, in a lobby somewhere, and that communication can happen. It feels like it would almost start with something professional. This isn't somebody that would like lead with romance, although there certainly could be like flirtation. It feels like you wouldn't necessarily lead with romance or flirtation. It would almost be more professional appreciation, or something that kind of would speak to, sort of ideas exchanged between two people, something on just sort of like a surface level that would lead to kind of more of those interactions then of getting to know one another, finding you have things in common. You may even like find out people in common, that you could meet this person at like a party, like, or like see them again at a party, or some kind of an event, and it almost feels to be like, oh, I attended the same seminar that you did, or I went to that talk that you put on, or if this person has a social media presence, you may be familiar with them in that particular sense, and then you have the opportunity to like directly interact with them, or someone that kind of invites you along to an event that they are at, a party that they are giving, something where then you have that ability to kind of communicate personally with them. And we also have deep quiet. So it feels like for a lot of you, you will be familiar with this person energetically before they actually come into your reality. So you may be dreaming about this person already, or you will, maybe literally, but it feels like more just the energy of this person. Something about them will feel almost familiar. So maybe sort of like deja vu, or definitely could be like a past life connection between the two of you. Something where you could connect with this person energetically during meditation, especially if you're setting that intention, like I want to connect with the higher self of my future spouse. I want to kind of build that relationship in the higher realms as a bridge to kind of creating that sort of 3D interaction with one another. That can definitely be sort of the way you meet this person. Something that they may also acknowledge as well, like you feel so familiar. It feels like deja vu or destiny even, that we have encountered one another. Could be through like serendipity or synchronicity, sort of lead the two of you to a time and a place where, especially if there's like multiple kind of interactions with one another in a more like impersonal manner to get to that place where it's like, okay, now we're having that direct one-on-one with one another. It's almost like it's not coincidence, or certain things had to happen. Doors had to close, other doors had to open in order to be able to sort of walk through to that place where it's the right time for the two of you. And we also have mindful. So definitely speaks to be something as far as like intellectual pursuits, expanding your perspectives, expanding your mind in any sort of way, anything having to do with like wellness, self-improvement, learning about different sorts of things, or like a group kind of exchange. Maybe this is even something that's like a professional connection, and you're working remotely, or you have different people you work with remotely. It's a larger company. Even you can meet this person on like a Zoom call first of all, or some kind of like where you're not dealing with them one-on-one, and then a series of events happens where eventually then you've got more of that interpersonal time. You're interacting with one another. You're able to kind of orchestrate those meetings with one another in a more direct sense. But definitely feels to have to do with something that just kind of elevates the mind, or elevates one's sort of experience in the material world, or even kind of the view and the vision of self to kind of cultivate that abundance mindset. So I'm going to get some affirmation cards that have like mantras on them that I think will be helpful for you as far as kind of cultivating a degree of personal magnetism, where you put yourself in kind of that positive frame of mind, that right vibration to call in that healthy, high vibrational partnership that you're looking for. So it's not like the focus on the other person, it's the focus on you, sort of becoming that love that you are seeking. And we have sincerity. My sincerity allows me to connect with myself and others on a deeper level. Intuitiveness. I trust my intuition and follow its guidance with courage and confidence. Balance. I honor the balance between rest and action in my life. And dignity. With dignity, I honor my worth and treat myself and others with respect, carrying me with grace and poise. So I'm going to get some initials to close out this reading, and these can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your future spouse, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got H, S, L, J, W, Q, S, E, I, N, X, T, M, and H. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channel letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.